Starting off with the Krazy eight ball box. I pre-painted back when I was painting my last box. I had some black left over, so I started spraying the two areas where this box will sit on paint stands when it gets painted. So I've pre-painted this side. You could try to tape it down, but I think your tape would eventually get rubbed and tore off, scooching it around on the table here, which incidentally, by the way, is my last pool table that I turned into my work table when I moved up to a different pool table. I've already done this side, and basically I just used my hot glue gun here, which is a little bit different from the one most people use. The poly gun, I use it just like a tack weld, and it holds it much better. This stuff will peel right off. It'll also get into the texture of the bed liner and hold it really well. And then when I'm ready to peel it off, there's no damage. Plus, I can lightly sand it again on these edges because all this is going to get blended and repainted back in again. And let's see, I'll show you so that's now all pressed on. And it'll even harden up even more. So you can see I've already pre-sprayed the insides of the windows. That way when I tape it all off, sometimes the tape will try to run over this edge slightly, because you can't always just get it dead on perfect. So when you pre-paint it like this, it's a way of getting around that little problem. Let's see. There you go. See, these are the paint stands most people's boxes sit on while they're getting sprayed. I'm not near through in here. Alright, that's the first raw video. It's going to be unedited, so I'm going to post this up to Facebook and see what happens, and watch for the next one. Actually, the next one would be me turning this thing over. There you go. You can see this is a basic design of it. Now I can slide it around wherever I want. Sliding around on the cardboard. You can see here where I was test painting green. Showing you in those earlier pictures what I was doing. And there's the back of the Krazy Eights, and I pocketed it out of the wood. And the reason I did that was I didn't want really long, narrow, 1.5 long, wide letters. So I pocketed it all. Okay, this is the next video that we ended on last time. I've just taken everything back apart where I mocked it up. Getting ready to glue this on for real now that I'm through with it. And when you take it back apart, you can just gently, barely see, you know, where the wood gets disturbed as the screw threads kind of bring it back up. There's a good one. And what you want to do is you want to just knock that down real quick. Probably best to use a little hand piece of sandpaper. That way you'll make sure you won't make any uneven spots. Because when you fire up a power sander, you can make depressions in here. But since I'm painting this, I'm going to go over all of this. But I want to leave sort of a rough texture because I want it to mimic felt, so that when I paint it, and you can see one that I painted a week ago, play around with. You can see, and this is just about exactly what my pool table used to look like, because I had my pool table in my wood shop for years. But I'll get all this kind of sanded right, and then it'll be ready to spray. And I wanted to show you the pocket holes that I like to use. And they're so strong because you're never going into the profile of the wood, the side part of the wood. And you're always going into the face of the wood where it's the strongest. And you'll notice where the screw grabs it again, it grabs the face of the wood again. And so then it pulls it together. And that's why they're so strong, because they never split the weak part of the board. And even when you'll use a brad nail, you'll run a brad nail through there, you'll see them. And it's, it's a small nail, and they're widely used, but you're spreading the material apart inside there. So you've already kind of compromised the wood a little bit. Okay, just showing you the bottom of the box. I went ahead and pre-sanded all the edges and got all the sharp edges off of it so it'll paint nice. Made sure everything was nice and smooth everywhere so the paint would look, you wouldn't see any lines in the paint. This is where the lights come through to light up the 8 balls. And you can see that the screw is recessed there. And then the wire runs out right beside it. And I'm just going to channel it along the bottom of the box, and then I'll seam this in with some putty and paint straight over this wire. And then I'm going to go, I think I'm going to go up, and I'm either going to go across the back of the box with a little channel so I can hook the wires up, or I can just have 2 individual connections for power. And that might just be the simplest thing to do. Just run it straight up to there and run 2 powers. I'll make him an adapter so he can run a single off of it. You can see the walnut that's on the back of this. That'll be painted black. I won't worry about trying to tape that off or anything. You're never going to see this back part of the box, and the bed liner will make it stronger. And I was just reverse sanding right here on the side of the lip of the port, trying to get all that nice and smooth all the way around the edges. So now I'm going to flip it back over, and I'll show you some the other features on the other side. So on this side you can see where the light is. I'll light that up. Just pop this little hole I drilled, and three bulbs curl around, and the middle hole is for the 8 ball that's already been pre-drilled. And in different tests I was doing, I noticed this block card in there, whatever it is, light wouldn't pass through it, of course, so the ball wouldn't light up like I wanted. So the solution was to slightly angle the black slightly down towards the base of the pool table, the floor, and the light could sneak through on the side and shine on the front of that and reflect back off of it, and it worked out pretty good. The 8 ball screwed down and set. And I'm going to get this ball temporary lid. There it goes. So the windows are all taped up, so you can't see anything. But that'll be slightly less bright, I believe. On this side, you can basically see what it'll probably end up looking like. And I didn't want any. At first, I thought about maybe running a light behind it, or drilling a circular LED bulb inside here. But there was no way for the heat to escape, so it didn't sound like a good idea. And I didn't want any bleed over from these lights into the main chamber. I just wanted to be contained in the 8-ball. So that's why I ended up doing it in the floor. You see all the walnut I've added to match all the rails everywhere. I've even added another walnut piece for the terminal cup plate. I added my logo. I was going to do it on a brass tag, but it didn't show up well. So I decided to use my laser and burn it into a tag on the side. And of course I had to use cherry wood for that tag. So I got you one on both sides. And I'm getting ready to put the top on it. I might want to be really careful when I do that, because I don't want any glue running down the walls or anywhere near the pool table. So I'm going to glue it upside down so the glue can never run anywhere. This is the frosted glass piece for the Krazy Eights on the other side. There was no view through this window anyway. All the view for the subs are the side windows that are all taped up. So I decided just to use frosted glass, which is just me sanding a piece of glass on both sides with a sander. And it makes the whole entire panel glow evenly. And then I decided on the back side to frame in all the connections and the screws and the lights, so you didn't see any of that. Again, we won't get any bleed over from this. It'll just glow up here when you look at it. And then I'm going to run another set of lights off an adapter, and all that's going to be set up in the roof of the box. This Wi-Fi connection that'll has a remote, plus you can control it with your phone. I'll get you some more pictures when this one's done. Okay, right here you can see where I have made little slots or pockets for the electronics for the lights, so they can tuck up into the ceiling a bit, and then have a good place to be secured and without glue having to be used everywhere. This will really hold it nicely, and it gives it a really nice look, finished look. Here you can see the really long slots for the LEDs that I'll be putting in later. Okay, here we see the completion of the Krazy 8 box. If I light up the internal lights, it'll kind of blind us, so just trying to show you the 8-ball that's lit up. There's your corner pocket. And there's my logo on a piece of walnut. And there's a piece of walnut. And you see up through, you see the electronics on the floor, on the roof of the box, excuse me. This is a view you're meant to see from underneath the seat. Would imagine I would run the 8 balls on all the time. If I can get the other lights plugged in for you. There we go. Green. It really makes it the paint reflect well another green color. Not on the video, maybe. There's a red, so a red with a clear ball. Looking through. There's your blue. These lights are the Magic Home. There's the barcode scanners if you want to do it that way. They will let your phone control the light, so I would put the remote up safe somewhere and use my phone. Alright, I got another box I'm starting. I'll just show you a glimpse of it over here. It's the DD audio console box. It's going to have this EQ mounted, flush mounted right here in the front. The whole piece will be open up here. The cords will come out at the bottom in an open spot. The actual box will actually end about right here. This will just be a false area to house the EQ. And you can see I got a couple of if you want some more DD logos cut out there. And there's the side of it. And then I have this really nice piece of blue aluminum strip that goes through here. And the lower portion will be gray and the top portion will be black. And those are his interior colors in his truck. Alright. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll get some more videos posted up for you.